Hey Hofstra fans, and welcome inside this week's edition of the WB Mason Coaches Report here on GoHofstra.com. I'm Tom Brady with the pleasure of being joined by the head coach of the Hofstra women's soccer team, Simon Rudia. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Tom.
Now, Coach, big weekend for you last weekend. Kind of two must-win games for you. Started against Georgia State. Had your team come away with a 2-0 victory in that one.
They worked hard. Georgia State's a very tough team, physically intimidating, athletic, and they play with a purpose. And they've got a couple of really special players who we had to deal with. But the girls stepped up. They worked hard for each other. They were organised, and we neutralised a very potent attack. Fortunately, we got a couple of goals on our side as well, and came away with a 2-0 victory.
They mentioned some of those special players to me, the one that sticks out the most. Jewel Evans, she gave your team some problems last year when you faced Georgia State. What was the game plan, limiting her to just 2 shots, one of them on goal?
Yeah, we put a freshman on her, to be honest, Kaylin Dudley. We man-marked her. Said, Kaylin, this is your job, and you know, don't mess up. And she did a fantastic job. And you know, if she can continue developing the way she has this year, she's going to be one for the future.
Now, was there a point in that game where maybe second half it's going, game's still scoreless, you're getting a little bit worried that your team hasn't got one yet?
Yeah, to be honest, Georgia State came out that second half and with a bit of intensity, and they started dominating a little bit in the midfield, which is a scary factor for us because our midfield's a very strong part of our team. And for that 10-15 minutes after the half time, you've got to give Georgia State credit. They had 1 or 2 really good chances, and fortunately they didn't capitalise on them and allowed us to get one on our own and then go from there.
Now, Cordy Breen got a goal for your team, but maybe more importantly is Anya Korn coming back from injury, and she manages to get one for your team. How big can she be, either off the bench or just to give you another look up front?
Yeah, she's a very good player, and she was playing really well just before she got injured. So we haven't played with her for about a month now. So fitness is still a question mark. She came in and played a good probably 50 minutes on that Friday night without any real setbacks for Sunday. She didn't play as much on Sunday, but again, 2 games in a week, and for somebody who hasn't played for a month is quite a big ask. But she gives us a different look. She's a big, strong kid. She plays very well with the back to pressure. She makes very good decisions, and I think her shot on goal percentage is probably one of the best in the nation. Now we just need to get her to score more goals, and we'll be very happy as we move forward.
Kind of a different test on Sunday. One of the teams at the bottom of the CAA in UNCW, but teams that you've said yourself this year, maybe your team has struggled a little bit against some teams that are lower. But it seems you came out and really took this one, dominated from start to finish to get the 2-0 victory again.
Yeah, Wilmington's always tough. I don't think in all the years since Georgia State joined that we have swept this weekend. We might have won and tied a game, we might have tied 2, we might have won and lost a game, but I don't think we've won both games on this weekend. I don't think many teams have this year. So to get through the Georgia State game, which is a physically tough game, prepare for Sunday's game after a 7-hour drive from Georgia to Wilmington is a real testament to the kids, to the players willing to work and prepare properly for the next game. So on Sunday when we did play Wilmington, we came out fighting, and we got the result we required.
Now you mentioned Georgia State being a physical game, but it also looked like UNCW was also a physical game, a lot of fouls, a lot of cautions in that one. Tell us about the physical play in the game.
Yeah, Wilmington are struggling near the bottom of the league. They haven't had a great season, so they're going to have to find a way to get results, and they're a little bit desperate, I would say. And to be fair, that team worked hard. They gave us everything they could give us, and it was physical, but most of our conference games are. I don't back down from that. I don't make excuses for that. That's what it is. But the girls stepped up and accepted the physicality of it, never complained, and got on with the job. And when you do that, it says a lot for your players' attitude and mental propensity to deal with adversity, and that's what they did well.
Cordy Breen got another goal for you, but her sister Erin Breen got her first goal of her Hofstra Pride career. So what was that kind of family atmosphere, I guess you could say, going on Sunday on the offense.
Yeah, I'm sure Pat and Kevin are upset that they're not there watching their daughters score. The team was super excited when Erin scored. You know, it was a great build-up from Laura Green to Sam Scalarici, and it ended up on Erin's foot and she blasted it home. The typical Cornish, she won't allow Erin to have the whole limelight, and she's not going to let her take the credit for that goal, and she won up to the second half and got a goal of herself. But that's sibling rivalry at its best, and hopefully Erin can continue scoring and Cornwall continue to better.
That seemed like, if not for the goalkeeper, you might have had maybe 4, 5, 6 goals in this match.
Yeah, the goalkeeper made some good saves. She's an active goalkeeper. You know, I think she was at fault for our second goal. It kind of went through her hands a little bit, but she made a couple of big saves, and we missed quite a few really clear-cut chances in front of goal, which I'm sure Laura Green would like to take some of them back. But you know, again, it's a tough team to go. It's a tough place to play. They're well coached. The coach does a fantastic job with what he's got, and you know, to come away with a win after that weekend is a tremendous effort from the team.
Now you're really sitting right where you need to be, right around that 6th place spot heading into the final match of the season. But as it always seems to be now for the past maybe 5, 6 years, final match of the year is against Northeastern, and as it always seems to be also, this one counts for a lot. So, you know, what can we expect from this traditional rivalry that we're seeing now?
Yeah, it goes back to the America East days when we were in that conference. There's always been a bit of rivalry between Northeastern and Hofstra. The thing with our conference is we schedule our travel partner as our last game of the season, and inevitably the last 6 years that last game has counted for either us or Northeastern or both of us. We need to win. Northeastern can probably get away with a tie. If we tie, Northeastern are definitely in. If they lose, they've still got a good chance to be in. But we need to win. And yeah, I'm sure they'll be pumped up Northeastern. It'll be their senior day, as will our team, and it's going to be a fantastic day in Boston, I'm assuming.
Now, what are you going to be telling some of your younger players to get them ready for this big rivalry that maybe they don't know as much about, and also a playoff atmosphere-like game already before the tournament even starts?
We've been in that mode for the last 2 or 3 games. We started with Old Dominion. We needed to win that game. We needed to beat Georgia State. We needed to beat Wilmington. It's just another game. We need to beat Northeastern, and that's our mantra. You know, we've got one game at a time, and we've put ourselves in a position to be in the playoffs picture, and that's all we could ask 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago it looked very bleak. But the girls have turned it around. They've been much more focused in practice. They've been more willing to prepare mentally. And now we've got one game to go, and it's not going to be easy. They never are. But I know this team will give everything they've got.
Now, you always talk about other teams and their special players. Right off the bat, looks like Veronica Napoli, very special player for Northeastern, preseason player of the year. What jumps out when you look at the film and see her playing for Northeastern?
She's tenacious. She's got jets. She's super fast. And if you can't deal with the speed, you're going to be in a hell of a lot of trouble for 90 minutes. But she just works so hard as well. She's two-footed, she's technical. She's a fantastic player and a really nice kid, to be honest. So, you know, each team have their threats. Each team have certain weapons, and you know, Northeastern is not a one-woman team by any stretch. So we just have to prepare for everybody. They've got 2 other good forwards and an attacking midfielder who's special. We have to just deal with all the weapons, and hopefully they have to deal with ours, and if ours are better than theirs, we'll come out with a win.
Any other special keys you think to going up to Boston this weekend and coming away with a victory?
Just to match their intensity. Northeastern traditionally are similar to Hofstra in the blue-collar mentality. They're hard-working, they're aggressive, they're physical, they're intense. If we can match that, I'm hoping that Courtney Breen and Brittany Butts and Laura Green won't allow us to lose this game. And they've done it the last 3 games, and I'm hoping they'll do it again this weekend.
All right, Simon Radioff, head coach of the Hofstra women's soccer team. Thanks for joining us inside this week's edition of the WB Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com.